Hey guys, what's going on? This is the conservative speaking, and I wanted to talk about Jussie Smollett being found guilty on Thursday of all five counts. Well, of five counts of staging a hate crime. Practically, he was found guilty of staging. He was guilty of five counts of staging a hate crime, and obviously, if you were the type of person that was keeping dibs on the case, this doesn't really come as a shock. This didn't come as a shock for me, just based on the sketchy details that Jussie Smollett was giving out. One of them was the simple fact that he refused to give up his phone because the phone would have implicated him in the crime, considering that he was texting the two other guys that were set up, that were involved in pretending to beat him up. It would have went back. It would have came back to implicating the two Nigerian brothers as the real perpetrators that went in and beat up Jussie Smollett. Um, it all would have came down to those two got to just Jussie Smollett orchestrating the whole hate crime to begin with. Not to mention the paper trail that he left behind, the fact that he paid these two Nigerian guys to beat him up with a check. And a check can always be traced back to you. Yeah, word of the wise. This guy, when it comes to orchestrating, uh, and staging a hate crime, he clearly is a novice when it comes down to that. I mean, if you're going to pay someone to make it seem as if you're going to beat them up, you think you would pay them with cash and not with a check, not with something that can easily be traced back to you. But I digress, because I would never ever encourage anyone to stage um, a hate crime. But yes, this is practically what happened to Jussie Smollett. And Juicy thought that he, because he is a professional actor, that he could have acted his way out of beating, staging a hate crime. The only issue that he had was that, uh, unlike unlike a true stage where you can control the elements of the environment, um, can't do that in a courtroom. All right, the stage is not a courtroom, and although Juicy Smollett tried to make it look as if the courtroom was his stage, because he decided to actually take, I mean, he actually decided to speak in his defense, and when cross-examined, he bombed on court. I mean, he practically threw everyone under the bus and just implicated himself even more. So to say that Juicy Smollett was found guilty on five counts of staging a hate crime is not surprising. What would have been surprising was for him to be found not guilty of it, because all of the evidence was practically pointed to Juicy. Juicy was the one that made up this ridiculous claim that two white men in MAGA hats assaulted him while he was out in the frigid in the while he was out in the frigid city of Chicago, and they were able to assault him, pour bleach on him, and put a noose over his head and call him the N word in Chicago. In Chicago, one of the most liberal cities that you would know in America, in Chicago of all cities, Obama City. This is where Juicy Smollett stated that two white men in MAGA hats assaulted him, even though he stated that the men were wearing masks. So if the men were wearing masks, how would you even know that they were white? But I digress. So Obviously this doesn't come as a surprise, but what is a surprise is the simple fact that the people who stood behind him, the people who actually believed him the first time he came out with this nonsense, um, originally came out with statements supporting him, and then when the conviction came out, they never really retracted their statements. So this is coming from the Daily Mail. Woke Americans slammed for silence after Jussie Smollett's conviction. So we have tweets from about three prominent people. Two of them are in politics. One is in entertainment. We all know that just about everyone that's in entertainment is for the left. We will start with Joe Biden. And this was, I believe, this was while Joe Biden was getting himself prepared to become president. So the great white dope Joe Biden wrote in his tweet, "What happened to Jussie Smollett must never be tolerated in this country. We must stand up and demand that we no longer give this hate safe harbor, that homophobia and racism has no place in our streets and in our hearts. We are with you, Jussie." There's another tweet from Kamala Harris. "Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. This was an attempted modern day lynching." Oh, really? I didn't. I guess I lost the fact. I mean, I lost the point where Jussie Smollett was lynched. "No one should have to fear for their lives because of their sexuality or color of their skin. We must confront this hate." And then we will go to Ariana Grande. And this is in Ariana Grande's words. "What happened to Jussie makes me really effing sick to my stomach. I can't believe S word like this is really still happening every day. What kind of world?" Question mark. Clearly, English was not her favorite major. "Sending all of the healing energy." Uh, looks like slash love I possibly can and hoping for change. What can we do? Question mark. Tell me and I'm there. This is a person who definitely needs to take an English remedial course if she ever went to college. Don't know. I don't know Ariana Grande, so I can't tell you. And then it goes to say, "Woke Americans slammed for silence after Jussie Smollett's conviction. The cream of liberal society, including President Joe Biden himself, have been mocked over old tweets backing Jussie Smollett in the wake of his conviction. President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, and a host of other liberal celebrities faced questions over their tweets backing Smollett on the same day as the alleged January 2019 attack, which he was convicted of faking on Thursday. Their now embarrassing tweets still sit on their accounts and attracted a host of mocking comments on Thursday in the wake of Smollett's guilty verdict." Amazing. Yes, I'm actually, yeah, I'm not really surprised that these people are not going to retract their statements because they're liberals. Liberals never really apologize for making any mistakes at all. I think they're still going to stand on their premise because they believe that this is still going on, and of course they're going to dismiss everything that happened. They're going to dismiss the conviction. They're going to dismiss any type of, I mean, anything that was proven that Jussie Smollett did because they're liberals. That's what liberals do. It's amazing, but it also goes to show you that Jussie Smollett is was an entitled person, a narcissistic person who believed that just because he was an actor, that he could believe that he could throw a specific person and specific people under the bus by claiming the victim. And that's something that that not all, but most of the blacks tend to do, and they tend to do that better than anything else. Always, always, when in doubt, play the victim. Because if you can't prove anything, well, then just claim that you're a victim of something, and it's possible that it could swing your way. Um, but just for the simple fact that there were a lot of things that just didn't add up in this case, and the fact that Jussie Smollett was found to stage some things that this was not going to go in his favor. Obviously, Jussie Smollett is an actor. He's a professional actor. He's a homosexual actor, and he thought that by using all of the and let's not forget he's black. So the simple fact that he was able to think that he could use all of these variables and try to throw the great white hope Donald Trump and Donald Trump's supporters under the bus by claiming that claiming that white people with MAGA hats assaulted him, poured bleach on him, and put a noose over his head and called him the N-word. It just goes to show you the how Jussie Smollett really, really, really feels about white people. And this is the honest to God truth. I mean, if you're willing to come up with an elaborate lie just to damage the reputation of not just the great white hope Donald Trump, but also Donald Trump supporters and white people as well, just goes to show you the amount of hatred that this man truly has towards white people. And it's unfortunate that most black people feel this way. This is the reason why I had to come out and make this type of video, because I want people to start to become a lot more aware of what the left are trying to do. People like Jussie Smollett are using his what's the word I want to use? He's using his stance, his celebrity, and his sexual orientation uh, as a weapon to go after innocent people. All right, and obviously, the worst the worst thing that this the worst outcome that can come out of all of this is the simple fact that real victims of hate crimes will now be looked over and not taken seriously, all because of the actions of an entitled narcissistic beta male like Jussie Smollett. And those are the real people that wind up suffering. But hopefully, um, hopefully, everyone should always get their just due, and hopefully we'll be able to, I'm talking about the victims. I mean, the real victims of hate crimes. If there are people that are really were victims of hate crimes, hopefully this situation won't affect them as much. But unfortunately, I mean, one will have to assume that it will. But for the victims of hate crime, I mean, don't stop. You know what I mean? Continue to keep allowing the authorities to look into your case. It's just that it's things like this from entitled celebrities that make it harder for real victims of real crimes to then get their to get their fair just due. Now, what would be the right thing to do for Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and Ariana Grande? Well, the right thing to do will be to retract their statements. But we know they're not going to do that because they're liberals. And liberals never apologize for anything. Liberals are always right. Remember that. Liberals are always right. Amazing. Amazing stuff. So, let me know what you guys think of the matter. All right. Leave a comment in the comment section after you subscribe to my channel. Click the like button if you like the video. Um, Subscribe to my channel also, and share the video as well, and subscribe to my channel so you'll be able to get content from my channel on the double. Also, when you subscribe to my channel, click on the notification so that you will be notified when my channel drops new content, because you always want to be notified for that. And with that being said, this is The Conservative, and I'm signing out. Thank you guys so much. Also, I also wanted to thank you guys. I'm up to 600 subscribers, and I'm only growing. And I want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. And I will always keep you informed, and hopefully I can keep you entertained. But if I don't keep you entertained, at least I should be able to keep you informed. So thank you for tuning in, and I'm signing out. Have a blessed day, guys.